Alright, so for today's short video, we're going to be talking about Black Ops Cold War's beta and how it really does seem like a lot of people are disliking the beta more than they disliked the alpha. So if they didn't like the alpha, they're really not liking the beta. I'm also seeing that people that love the alpha aren't enjoying the beta. And I want to talk about some of the topics surrounding this, as well as the main factor. Let's jump actually right into the main factor so I don't drag you through all my opinions about stuff before we get there. So when it comes to the main factor, what is most consistent to me by going on Twitter and listening to my audience and just my own gameplay is that there is a problem with the hit detection and the server quality during this beta. And this could be for a multitude of reasons. Now, obviously, netcode is not really a thing. It just sort of is the term you use to encompass all things that have to do with online game networking. So anything that has to do with that could be sort of out of whack. It requires a lot of tuning and a lot of polishing. We're probably not going to see the game at its full throttle force, probably until end of December, January, maybe even February. It takes a long time for devs to stress test and figure out where the issues are with their code, because it takes everybody getting their hands on it and sending in footage and just giving tons of feedback for them to really nail it. And that's why no Call of Duty's netcode has ever been perfect at launch. So yeah, that's really good because the beta can help them iron that stuff out for launch. But then there's the issue that this is a closed beta right now, and so it's only people on PS4 and only people that pre-ordered. And because PlayStation immediately takes $60 out of whatever account you choose, and yeah, you can only do it digitally, there are no codes you get from physical pre-orders, this is really limiting the amount of people that are going to be in this beta. Not everybody is comfortable going a weekend without $60 in their account, and I don't blame them. If I wasn't a content creator, I wouldn't be touching this thing with a 10-foot pole until it's open. So I think when the open beta comes along, we're going to see a lot better connections because there will be more people that can potentially be playing, so it's more likely to find people with the same ping as you, or a closer ping to you. Yeah. This is why they're doing quick play only for this part of the beta. I'm almost positive that's why, because if everybody's just doing quick play on either 12v12 or 6v6, then it kind of condenses the player base and makes it easier for people to find each other, which is a good thing. But yeah, if you are feeling like the connection just isn't right, you are not alone. The game feels wrong, and even when I'm streaming, it's frustrating to me to the point that the only words I'm using to describe it when I'm streaming is just dog shit. I'm just calling it shit. The game handles and feels like shit right now, and there's no other way to put it. It's bad. It's not, oh, needs a little work. No, it does not feel AAA. The rest of the beta feels so much better than the alpha in terms of visuals and performance. The FOV slider, motion blur isn't turning itself back on. There's a progression system, there's stuff to do. I really like what they're doing with the game. We'll talk more about other things later in future videos. Yes, I'm going to be bitching about frag grenades and C4s and tactical grenades, and yeah, I'm going to be talking all about that. There are mechanical things I don't like, but mostly it's a really solid product that feels like shit to play right now. So no, if you feel that general sort of vague, nebulous, ambiguous sort of this just feels bad sort of gut feeling, you are not alone. What's sad is that so many people are just going to judge the game based on that, and while I'm certainly judging the beta, the full product isn't going to be the beta. If these problems persist, so will my frustrations. But the thing is video games are a very varied media. They go through ups and downs, highs and lows. They have issues that get resolved, and then when they get resolved, some new issues crop up. Video games are very complicated, so having a singular binary opinion this early sort of blows. And that's where I want to talk about skill-based matchmaking. Same thing in the alpha. Nobody's tested skill-based matchmaking. Whoops, scratch that. What I mean to say is that nobody's done enough testing to have a definitive answer on skill-based matchmaking's involvement with varying types of players. Also, buy Manscaped. Code 1BOOM, 20% off plus free shipping. My friend was seeing skill-based matchmaking complaints less than 2 hours into the beta. Unfucking believable. The only people that are logging into a Call of Duty beta that early are hardcore Call of Duty fans, okay? These are really sweaty, hardcore fans of the series. And I'm sorry, Call of Duty yes, has a lot of room to improve, but let's not pretend the skill ceiling is so high that it's unbelievable that people have gotten better over the last 14 years or so. Yes, people know how to jump shot and drop shot. People buy elite controllers, scuff controllers, back paddles. People are okay with playing slowly for their streaks, sticking to the outside of the map, fragging the objective you're on. I'm not saying Call of Duty isn't too sweaty sometimes. I'm not saying skill-based matchmaking doesn't exist. I'm saying blaming it out of the gate tells me you are just looking to complain about it. This is where common consensus destroys the COD community, because for some reason people conflate consensus with consistency without thinking about confirmation bias. And that's really sad, because so many people are judging this game based on a phantom matchmaking system in the background that's never been described to us. We just know that it's there, and people are citing it as the sole reason their matches aren't fun. Because video games are all about getting better until your opponents are good, in which case the game has screwed you. Whatever. Strict skill-based matchmaking has no place in public matches, but I don't know why I'm hearing so much whining from people that are apparently so good at COD. I know they want a casual, fun experience, but you are probably way above average. You are rocking 2 KDs, you are probably better than 70% of your region that you get matched with. And some of you are just insistent on complaining that the matches aren't easy. No, they're not easy for anybody when you're on the enemy team, because whether they're sweats or they're noobs, you would go hard either way. If they were noobs, you'd get a nuke. If they're sweaty, you might not get a nuke. What are you gonna do? But of course, that's assuming skill-based matchmaking works the way everybody thinks it does, because everybody seems to have a different idea of how it works or a different experience with it, because, oh, it's because of their skill level, because they're actually decent or actually good at the game. They're really, really good, so you wouldn't understand their complaints because they're so good they don't want to fight anybody else that's good. Either way, I know it's more of an all-the-time thing. They don't want to fight people that are strong all the time, but you know what? Neither do noobs. It's funny to me that the people that were calling in chopper gunners back in Modern Warfare 2 and pinning enemy teams in their spawn and getting nukes that way, for some reason think that that was teaching those newbie players on about how to get better. And that's how they learned. No, you didn't learn by getting pinned in your spawn. You were the one pinning people in their spawn. Unfortunately, a lot of the YouTubers and pro players that are complaining, they have footage of back when they used to play Call of Duty. They're naturally talented, they're naturally gifted from the get-go, and then they put in hours and hours of practice, meaning the game doesn't just mesh with them on a personal level, they have the hours and had the hours to put into it. And some of these people hold KDs you'll never have, they've touched trophies you'll never see, because they're better. And it's very sad to me that so many of them are influencing the community in this negative way, when most of the community shouldn't have any trouble with skill-based matchmaking, because most people aren't rocking a 2 KD. That's not the core player base. I even saw Charlie Intel saying that, well, the core player base is being hurt by this, but I think it's going to be the 1.8, maybe 1.7 and up KD players, the really high score per minute players that would be mostly hurt by skill-based matchmaking, because my matchmaking experience is pretty varied. It leans more towards sweaty at times, but I can honestly attribute that just as easily. If we had to just pick things we can't prove, I could just as easily attribute it to just the general population of Call of Duty getting better. Either way. A lot of you guys that watch my live streams for hours on end, you see how varied my matches are on a match-to-match basis, and it doesn't follow any sort of easily predictable pattern. Good game, bad game, good game, bad game, 5 good games, 5 bad games. No, it's very varied. So to me, it's upsetting that we're gonna start saying that the game's trash because the connection and the hit detection is currently bad. We're gonna start saying that skill-based matchmaking is clearly in the game because matches aren't easy and they're sweaty and people are trying their ass off. I'm sorry, Call of Duty's easier to learn to get good at. So it's not Halo, it's not Rainbow Six Siege. There's not as much mechanical knowledge required. There is not as much strategy involved in the gunplay of Call of Duty. So if you're getting slapped, it's probably not because they're just really good. It's because people have just learned how to play the game. So you might be saying, boom, okay, what's the point of this video? My point with this video is that we should just sit quietly and wait. Wait for YouTubers to test skill-based matchmaking once the game comes out. Wait for the game to come out to judge the connection quality of the game itself. There are YouTubers that love gathering data. And once tests have been done, and once we can get a feel for what we're getting into, then we can talk about it. Because right now it's a bunch of speculation and immediate knee-jerk reactions to the fact that this is a beta. And yeah, a closed pre-order digital-only beta at that. My solution is that if you care about this franchise at all and you're not just some sort of casual shitter, like, seriously, take a breather and give it a minute. If you're not used to doing that, then you are new to AAA shooters. And if you are new to AAA shooters, hi! They don't come perfect on day one, especially of their betas. So yeah, my solution's pretty weak ass. For all these controversial opinions, my solution is sit and wait. And put some trust in your favorite content creators that they're going to try to give you the information you need so that you know what to be pissed about. Be wary of content creators that just want you to be pissed. See you when I see you. Goodbye.